Hi all, welcome to Parker's Reefs. For those who don't know, I recently went to Sydney to do a bit of a local fish shop crawl. I'm going to split that trip into two parts. This is part one. I want to shout out a big thank you to Evan, Felicity, Sammy and Greg for driving me around, putting me up and just allowing this trip to happen. So sit back, watch the video and get to take in all that Sydney has to offer local fish store-wise. Hi everyone, welcome to Parker's Reefs on my two-day tour of Sydney. First up, we go to Majestic Aquariums. For those of you who don't know, Majestic Aquariums is one of those absolute landmarks in the hobby. They've been around for a long time, and Paul Talbot runs a pretty tight ship here. It's a big store. It's known for a number of things, including its shark display. It's got incredible freshwater and marine setup. You can see this incredible custom tank set up here with incredible exposed sump equipment. And then we move straight onto one of their display tanks. Looks like a Euphilia display. I mean, they've got some other things in there too, but primarily the Euphilia in this tank is crazy. It's a little bit hard to see, but that what looks like a gold torch in the video is actually it's golden lime. It's like the tentacles alternate, which is amazing. All right, I'm doing pretty quick pan around here. You can see a lot of the dry goods there, a lot of foods. Over here is this huge shark tank, I believe. I'm a bit conflicted. I must admit, someone will tell me which one it is. I can't remember if it's a black tip shark or a white tip shark, because its fin has both white and black parts on it, but the tip is black, so let's go with black tip. Although I did read online somewhere, I think it was Snowy, the white tip. They feed the shark every weekend, so it'd be quite a sight to see, and it is an absolute monster. I don't know how many litres that tank is. This is their SBS tank, which unfortunately sprang a leak the night before we got there, so they had no SBS in there, which is a shame, because at the moment that's what I'm living and breathing, but so be it. We get through to the livestock section, and I must point out we got there like right at opening, so these guys are still setting up for the day, and I'm walking around with the camera, but they were kind enough to let us film, and it just captured the store as it was. They've got a great range of livestock there. Another little look at Snowy, that shark. Decent freshwater arrangement too. It's hard to believe. I know people out there actually like freshwater. I like to think just chuck salt in it, but hey, so be it. Some people like freshwater stuff. We've got a good range of dry goods here, including freshwater stuff, but a good load of supplements, test kits, everything you could really need. A good range across different brands, all really well laid out, accessible. Huge range of heaters. See the Sydney local stuff there, Quantum. Some of the new stuff there, some mastic stuff. All of the odds and ends, like Julian's thing there. Back around to show some more of the foods. See some Aquaforest foods there, which is what I'm currently using. Whole heap of a range, a big range there. And just come back over and look over my friend's shoulders here to have a look at this incredible Euphilia display. All right, let's get moving on to the next store, which is one I've heard a lot about. A lot of different stories, Australian Fish and Coral Exports. This is only around the corner from Majestic, so it was a logical choice to go to next. This place, I believe, actually, they have access to their own collector, and they supply a lot of the stores in Sydney, so I was really keen to see what they had. We did get in there a day before delivery, and then I went back again the next day, and we were about an hour after delivery, and most of the stock had been cleaned out. But that being said, there was still a heap of stock in here, and it's it does feel a lot more like a wholesaler than a retailer. So you get kind of that vibe. But that being said, there's some absolute diamonds in the rough here. We'll scroll over these tanks, which you've got some various inverts and stuff in it. Let's get into the juicy stuff. I like the corals here. I'll try and adjust the color on camera so we can see these a bit better. Here's a chalice tank. Move on to like a fungi and Trachophilia tank. We got in here, we got, I'm not sure what's in there, we got a whole Duncan tank. I heard sometimes they sell them ridiculously cheap. We got past Euphilias. We get into here, Symphilia tank, I believe, Lobos. There's some crazy pieces in there. A tiger stripe one just about came home with me. Come around the corner here. What do we got here? It looks like we got some BTAs. There's some Gonies. I didn't quite catch what was in that one, sorry. Here's some maze corals. Yeah, incredible colors in these pieces. Look at here, there's a Favia. There's a morph tank. Oh, it's gonna be hard to see what's in here. There's a little puffer. This guy actually spits water at me, which is pretty cool. He's just guarding that tank there, just doing his job. There he goes, spitting a bit of water. Crazy little guy. And then we come over here and have a quick look at what fish are available. Got a range of fish here as well, so you can see some coral beauties, some tangs, some long nose butterflies, more tangs, more coral beauties. There's a little sailfin by the look, gorgeous. Some more sailfins, xanthias, more sailfins, xanthias, little puffer. There's a couple of angels in there, another big angel. Pretty decent range of fish, actually, when I thought the place was primarily coral. All right, let's hit the road because we've got a bit of a drive down to the next door, Coral Madness. So let's make our way down there and see what the guys down there have got to offer. All right, here we are. We've made the trip all the way down to basically Wollongong to Coral Madness. And first thing you notice when you walk in the store is this pretty cool softy display. Got a bunch of leathers and simularias in there, some lobos. Surprisingly, a flame angel in there too, who obviously doesn't upset them too much. And yeah, let's move on to what they have to sale. So yeah, we've got some Euphilia in there, some Gonies, some other bits and pieces. There's a huge carpet nem in there. Here's a morph tank where Evan and I picked up a couple of cool morphs. There's some other pieces, some Zoa frags, some Scullies. You move on to the SPS display. The camera's a little bit hard to pick this up, but there were some nice pieces in there, including some cool red Monty. A little bit of dry goods there. Let's just have one quick look at this display tank, which is their SPS display. Again, looks like there's an angel in there nipping away, or was there plenty? I'm not sure. But yeah, some cool pieces in there. I'm sorry the camera didn't pick it up all that great. Let's move across to their fish systems, where they had a nice clean setup of fish. Here, some nice variety of fish. Yeah, you can see there some blue tangs, some chromis, some powders, beautiful lipstick. They're my favorite fish. Some yellow tangs, despite the potential stock shortages of those. And you can see for a relatively small store, they've got a huge range of dry goods as well, all out on show, so you can browse through them. Various brands, including Continuum, Aquaforest, Quantum. Carry the brand new Red Sea Reef skimmers and the 900 and 600. A couple of them on display. The Great White skimmer there as well. Aquaforest reactors, some dosing chambers, some aquamatic gear, and then my favorite, the Himali acrylic sumps from Eric. These things are a work of art, so it was wicked to see one of those on display. And one quick last look at their display tanks, their sail tanks, and the filtration, running a huge skimmer. Plenty of live rock in the sumps there. Another little skimmer on that system. But we better wrap this up so we can get on to the next store, which is Hurstville Aquarium. So let's get going. All right, here we are. We've made it to Hurstville Aquarium. Heard a bit about this store, but I've never been there myself. So let's go in and have a look. Let's see. We walk in. You're just surrounded by dry goods here, which is welcome to see from a range of brands. Ranging from your test kits to your supplements, to your coral foods, pest control, water treatment, GFOs, skimmers, foods, huge range of the Aquaforest gear there, and their coral foods, fish foods, supplements, including the Aquaforest skimmer, which you don't see a lot of those on display, so that was cool to see. You got the new Quantum Signature series there, including their full range of salts and additives. And then let's just have a quick look at their display tank here, which is pretty cool. This one's like a scully and fungi setup. It's got a wicked scape on it. I love the branching rock like that. When those Monties and other pieces on there start encrusting over that, that'll be an absolute sight to see. So yeah, looking forward to seeing that tank grow out. All right, what else we got here? Pretty cool little planted tank here. Here's a little frag tank there, which you can point out bits and pieces if you're keen to buy. I apologise for the quick panning around here, but we've got some freshwater rays there, which these things always intrigue me. They're such bizarre animals. Gold spots. Someone will tell me that's the wrong species name, but so be it. I'm going to call them gold spots. Let's make our way over here to their main coral display tank. This is just a, for lack of better words, there's an orgy of coral in here. We've got all types. We've got a bunch of euphyllias, hammers, frog spawns, torches, helios, What else was in there? Some zoas. There's a bunch of BTAs, some little boxes there. Got some clams in there, some ricks, some acans, fungias, chalice. Looks like some lobos, blastos. Here's a bunch of red bubble tips. Some cool fungias again. Looks like another rose in that box there. That's a pretty one in there, a big one too. We come back over this side. What do we got here? Looks like maybe some Monty, Gonies. Let's see if we can get around the other side of this tank here. I got a cool Magnifica. He's a little bit bleached at the moment, but hopefully he'll come back. And there's a couple of gigs in there. Huge range of anemones at this store, which is cool to see. And they love doing these ornaments. They're growing Sophastria and Montes and stuff on. I'll just scroll quickly past the freshwater stuff because this is called Parker's Reefs, not Parker's Rivers. All right, here we are. We're at the fish. Love little box fish. They're so cool. Must admit, I never even considered one, but after seeing one in a friend's tank, almost makes me want to set up a dedicated tank just for one. Cool to see some filefish in there. They're your I'll spit it out, Aptasia eating filefish. And one thing I noticed in Sydney was a bunch of these clown tangs, which is such a beautiful fish. They get huge and aggressive, but so you don't normally see them in reef tanks. But man, they're stunning and they're so cheap. Yeah, a wild variety of fish there. I'm pretty sure that's a cod. I could be wrong there, but Fijian foxface, powders, yellow tangs. Yeah, you name it. Oh, a beautiful scribbled angel. There's a couple in this tank, one a bit smaller than the other. Let's see what else we got here. We got, looks like some clown gobies perhaps, or maybe yellow assessors. What do we got down in here? A little puffer, Picasso trigger, I think. All right, it's time to get on to our final stop for the day, which is a brand new store, Bespoke Aquarium. So Bespoke Aquarium, it's this brand new huge store. Here we are. It's in between a wheel place and a auto barn, but right in the middle is the good stuff. It's an aquarium only store. This used to be a pet store, so it used to have cat food, dog food, and all that other sort of jazz, but it's pure aquarium now, and it's big, as you can see. You walk in, you got your frozen foods to the right there, then followed by a huge range of pre-made aquariums. So you've got all different sizes and all different brands there. You can check them out, have a look at the quality of them, bring your measuring tape in, see whether they're going to fit. You can compare the fit and finish on them, see what the glass is like, all that sort of jazz. So it's good to be able to see them in person and not just flick through advertising material or a brochure and have to pick a tank from that. All right, so we're making our way past some of like your freshwater ornaments and things there because we want to get over to the good stuff. You'll note the fish tank lights just went off and a staff member was just walking out. Colin and Eric were nice enough to let us in here after closing time. So big shout out to those guys. They're top blokes and they're really wanting to see this store make a big hit on the market. So be sure to get down there and support them. You can see they've got a huge collection here of corals, beautiful powder blue tang in there. I apologize for the color. The iPhone really struggles to pick some of this stuff up, but we've done our best that we can. You see this tank on the end here, a huge tank just for inverts, all sorts of different snails and crabs and things in there, which is cool to see. And now we'll just move over and have a quick look at the fish. So this is the marine fish section. You've obviously got your staples and your clowns. There's some wrasse there. There's one of those really cool file fish that smash through the Aptasia. They do like to have a bit of a crack at some corals too, but hey, they do eat Aptasia. Some fire gobies, flame angels. What do you got there? Some antheas, blue tangs. Trying to pick out some more fish I see. Here we go, have a look at the coral tanks again. You can see they've got these nice little PVC grids in there, so it made it a bit easier to identify the price of each of these corals, which is always handy, save you yelling out to ask a staff member every 2 minutes what a price of something is. You see, that's really cool. I'm not big into freshwater stuff, but that tank there with the plants in it is just cool. And you can see we've got a large selection of freshwater fish too, but I'm not going to go down into those because, yeah, I don't really do freshwater. That being said, I do have a soft spot for betas, mainly because they photograph really well, and they got this cool beta set up there where you can literally, I think you can just pick the jar up, which is cool to see. All right, we'll get on to some of the dry goods. Got a huge range of foods there. You got some lamps, some filters, heaters, air pumps, then you got some water treatments, water additives, reactors, supplements. Nelly forgot this little frag tank here. Those who know me know I love frags. There's a I think he's a frogfish, just guarding the frags in there, which is awesome. Got a big range of aquaforest salts, and yeah, they got the room at this huge store to even have some of this equipment on display, so you can check out the new Red Sea Reef. You can see the NIOS torque reactor, check all this stuff out in person, which yeah, the algae reactor's there too, which is cool. You don't have to look at it through a box or in a manual or on a website. You can see it firsthand. But that pretty well sums up my day 1 of the trip. I've got day 2 to come yet, so be sure to like and subscribe the video so you don't miss out on that. I've got to check in with my guest for the night. Well, I'm his guest. This is Mac, the Samoyed. I'm going to be sharing a room with him tonight, and yeah, I'll get back out on the town and see the rest of Sydney's local fish stores tomorrow. So thanks for watching. Catch you guys on the next video. Cheers.